So welcome to week 67 of the Sacred Sound Codes, Ametron Truth as we call it, Ametron, the bringer of truth. Now, for those of you that don't know who Ametron is my higher self. So Ametron is, I guess, a representative of source energy, because we are all one and there really is no separation. So at the point of my higher self, where there is no separation, because, you know, all of us living here on planet Earth, we're in and out of oneness and in and out of separation all of the time. And that's just part of our ego, part of our learning, part of the coming and going, the coming and the going. And actually that brings me to something else that I wanted to talk about. I was going to do something separate on this, but I think I'll actually incorporate it in tonight. Because Ametron came to me, probably I had been working with Ametron from the very beginning of my awakening in 2004, but I became familiar with Ametron in 2010. I won't go into the whole story, but something happened to me in 2010, in October of 2010, when I had another awakening, and this particular awakening was to do with the twin flame. And at the time, I was in a relationship with somebody who I thought was my twin flame. And that's another story, a story that I really want to talk about one day, because of this confusion around signs and so-called signs of twin flames, and how you can tell if you've met your twin flame. Well, I actually think that that can be debunked. And I'm going to talk about that at some point. And it'll probably push some buttons, but the reality is I can only speak from my own experience, and that is what I'm going to speak from. But it's too much to talk about tonight. So I want to just talk about from the point of October in 2010, when I was guided by my higher self, who I didn't know at that time was going to give me a name. I was guided to bring through some alchemy waters. And I had been bringing through different alchemy waters, for a while. And some of them were to do with the Ascended Masters and their divine counterparts. And I was guided at this time to bring through the alchemy waters of the twin flame. Now, I was relaxed about doing that, because in my understanding, I was in union with my twin flame, according to what I understood. So I was quite relaxed about that. And I'd gone back to Egypt to take a group through an intensive Luxor Light Ascension program and a program on the Nile. And after my groups had left, it was quiet time, and I had the opportunity to bring through these, birth, if you like, these twin flame alchemy waters. And I thought it was perfect, because here I was staying with my twin flame, and I would do this. So one night, I think it was the night before I actually was to fly out from Egypt, and I sat in meditation and waited, with the intention of that if it was divinely right, that I would be able to bring through the codes for the twin flame, to make the twin flame alchemy waters. And I had the purified waters and everything with me to do so. And I was really surprised at the power of the energy and the codes and things that came through me on that night. So, of course, I felt really relaxed about the fact that I had, in fact, been able to birth these twin flame waters. But something interesting happened after that night. The very next day, And I took the waters. I took them myself after I had brought them through. So I thought, I'm going to trial this myself straight away. So I took the waters. And the very next day, I had conflict with my then beloved. And this was like the first time that we'd ever really had conflict. And I was surprised because I thought, but I just brought through the twin flame waters. This is so, doesn't feel right. Anyhow, that happened. And then this was during the time, a significant time. It was the very same time that the Iceland volcano erupted. So I have another very significant story to tell about that, something that happened at the airport in Cairo, but that's not for now. And anyhow, I flew back to Australia. And a few days later, I ran a meditation evening to introduce the twin flame waters to my group. And I did so. And the very next day, something happened to me. And I had so much conflict within my body that I knew that my then beloved was with another woman. And it started to tear me apart. He wouldn't answer the phone. So this is a personal story. It's all going to be more to it later, but I'm not going to go into it all. But anyway, it started to tear me apart. And I needed, through the next few days, I think this was a Friday, and by the Sunday, I actually found out, it's a long story, but found out that yes, he had actually married again. And so this tore me apart. And the very next day, on the Monday, I took my son to school. And as I was driving home, I could feel this bellow of sound wanting to come out from the deepest part of me. And I knew I couldn't go home because my son and his girlfriend were there. So I went to a lonely beach. And when I got to the lonely beach, I had been holding this energy off while I drove. And when I got to the lonely beach, I parked somewhere away from everybody. I didn't get out of the car because I knew I could feel the power of what was within me. I felt a volcano about to erupt. And when I parked the car and I just surrendered, it was like a volcano erupting within me. And I could see with my third eye, it was as if the whole universe was shattering. And I knew that my soul was shattering throughout the universe. And of course, my mind was thinking all of these years that I have pieced together my soul. And in this one moment, I have shattered myself into a billion pieces. And I could hear these sounds were so loud and powerful. And I felt like I could hear the angels and the archangels bellowing and crying with me. It was incredible. The story goes on, but very shortly after that, I sat in meditation and I was given the name Ametron. And I asked who was Ametron, and I was guided that this was the name of my higher self. And then I was guided again, once again, this is 6 years on from me bringing through Luxor Light Ascension frequencies. I was guided to bring through another healing modality. And this healing modality was to be called Ametron Truth. And Ametron Truth was to be this healing energies of the sacred sound. And the sounds just got more and more powerful, but they contained 3 main sounds that you will recognize as we work through them. And in any case, I did the numerology because most of you that know me know that I am very much into numerology. And I was given the name Ametron Truth. And I did the numerology, and the destiny of the name of Ametron Truth was 56, which becomes an 11. And the destiny of the name Luxor Light, which was the original healing modality that I was given with the frequencies that we call Luxor Light, is 56, which is 11. I could never have, figured that out for myself. So we had this 11-11 energy. I didn't get it then until much later now, until when I actually did connect with my twin flame, my true twin flame. And that's something else I want to talk about later. I don't believe in false twin flames or counterfeits or whatever. I believe in soul connections. I believe that we connect with aspects or fragments of our soul for a purpose and for a reason. And each one of them are flames of our flame. But there's only one that flames at the same degree as us. So, or as the exact mirror. Now I'm still learning. So I can only teach from my learning journey. I can only share from my learning journey. And that's what I want to do, because I've been through all of what they call the runners, all of those things that they talk about. And I want to talk about them at another time. But today, I just wanted to say that this work that we're doing now seems to be becoming more and more and more directed toward what we call the twin flame. But I want to point out that this is not an us and them journey, those with twin flames, those without twin flames. It's not an us and them journey, because if it was, we would be in separatism. It is a journey of ascension, and that is what twin flames are all about. It's the journey of ascension. And everybody is on the journey of ascension to varying degrees. So anybody that is consciously on the journey of ascension is working with balancing, awakening, and aligning with their divine masculine and divine feminine within themselves, within each and every chakra. So you see, all of these things that are coming through at the moment to do with twin flames, it's not an us and them, it's all of us. If you have a counterpart, masculine, feminine, whatever, a divine union or whatever, I feel that in varying degrees this is happening for all of us. And even if you don't have a partner, you do have a masculine and feminine within yourself that needs to come into harmony, that needs to be at union. You need to be at union with yourself, with both sides of yourself. And if your divine, your exact other half is at the soul level in spirit, then you also need to come into harmony with them. And first and foremost, you need to come into harmony with them anyway at the level of the soul. So we would work through it ourselves, balancing our masculine and our feminine, and healing the conflict within ourselves in each and every chakra. And then we would need to heal the conflict with our twin soul, the other part of ourselves at the level of the soul, from the original separation. And then if it is our purpose to meet with a twin flame in this incarnation, if they are incarnate, and you do meet with them, then you have to go through the journey again of coming into balance and harmony and aligning with their energies. And even if they are incarnate, but you haven't met them yet, you are still in separation from each other, then you must focus on yourself and coming into harmony with yourself, because the ultimate alignment and coming together can't happen until you are at one and in harmony with yourself, because otherwise you will see your exact reflection and the mirror of that, and it will be way too hard. And I know that there are many people who don't come into union with their twin flame because it is too hard, and it is too hard because they have not learned enough about themselves, and they've not taken the time to walk the journey. It's a learning journey, a learning about ourselves. It's not about somebody else and us, really. It is about us. First and foremost, it's about ourselves. And when we can become completely detached from the need to have to come together with the physical representation of your twin flame, then you are ready to meet them. But you are not ready to meet them if you still have that focus that you must come together with them, because it won't happen. It can only happen if, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is what I have learned. I've come to the point where I've finally learned. I've been through the push, the pull, the magnetism, the constant crazy energies that, what is this? Living inside my body and wanting to kick them out, and, all of these incredible things that happen when you connect with your twin flame. But it doesn't actually matter, because it's all about ascension. Ascension is what matters. So when we let go and surrender to the journey, like we do with the ascension, so for those that have already been walking the path of ascension consciously and recognizing that journey brings up a lot of stuff within us, and those that do the Luxolite Ascension program know that actually does the same thing. It helps us to heal and accelerate at an accelerated level. And it brings balance and harmony to the masculine and feminine within ourselves. And that is the preparation. And even still, with that preparation, when you meet the twin flame, it's not enough preparation. I've learned that. We have to keep preparing. We have to keep preparing. And what happens when we finally come in harmony and union with them? I don't know. I don't really know what happens. Because this is a journey. Life is a journey. If we want to be at the destination before we have walked the journey, we miss all the fun. We miss all the learning. We miss all the magic. So if we take it a step back and we bring it back to, it doesn't matter if I don't come into union with my twin flame. What matters is the journey. What matters is ascension. What matters is when your energies are in alignment and in harmony, what matters is the birthing of the third energy that comes forth, your mission and your purpose. And this, I'm not saying it does or it doesn't, because I'm not there yet. But it's possible that all you need to do is be in harmony with your twin flame without relationship. Is relationship necessary? I don't know. What is necessary is the healing journey. What is necessary is the mission and the purpose that it unfolds and births because you came into harmony, because you harmonized with those energies. I feel that too many people get caught up in the, where is he? He's running, he's this, he's that. When you place your focus on all of that, you will get more of it and more of it. Where we place our focus, we get more of. So if we place our focus on the journey, we will get more understanding and more learning of the journey. If we place our focus on healing, on the balance and the mission and the purpose, then we will awaken more to the purpose, and we let go of the hanging on and the needy. The needy pushes it all away. So it's remembering that whenever we are feeling needy, and I posted a reading today on Facebook about the feeling alone. It's the same sort of thing. When you feel alone, you feel like there is a piece missing from you. But there is nothing missing. You are whole. The problem is that you are not recognizing that there is nothing missing. You're not recognizing your oneness, your completeness. You are not finding the harmony within yourself. So, that's what it's all about. And today, when I went in for the meditation, I saw the vision of the masculine and the feminine in embrace. And of course, it has been so vivid around me for a while now that I thought that it was just, I was like, come on, give me something new. So I thought I was, just, in that mindset still. So I had to let go of the meditation and go and do something else for a bit and then come back to it. So when I came back and asked Ametron again for the message, I received the same message again, the same vision. And the vision continued on to seeing, the feminine and the masculine, and there was like a passing of a child between the two. So I recognized then that, okay, this is the coming together of the divine masculine and divine feminine, and the passing of the energies between each other, which becomes a mission and a purpose. It was like it was almost like they threw the child to the other one, catching, play catchy with the child. So it was like passing the energy between each other, allowing the energies to come together, to harmonize, to trust that you're not going to drop the purpose, to trust, to have total trust in each other and where each person is at, that they will catch that purpose, the baby, that they will protect it like you. And if there is no push-pull, no, you must do this, you must do that, because it is a journey of unconditional love. And in unconditional love, you would totally trust the other. You would totally trust that that's the space that they are in right here, right now, wherever it is, whether it is being completely shut down from you or whatever. But this is exactly where they are meant to be and exactly where you are meant to be, because you are reflections of each other. So it's not about he or she or they or, this one's doing that or this one's that. It's the two together. So the more balance that you can come within yourself, the more you can trust yourself, the more you can trust your journey, your purpose, your mission to unfold in the perfect and divinely right time, the more likely it is that you're going to come together and face each other. And then you have to be able to hold your balance. Again, you must be able to hold your balance. So today, the numerology is a 36-9, which is all about mind. It's about ego. It's about intuitive mind. And it's about divine mind. So there's mind, mind, and mind. Where is your mind? Is your mind fixated on a particular scenario? Is your mind fixated on a particular outcome? If it is, it's in the ego. And you will get more of what you are afraid of not having. More of that, lack. More of what is missing. You'll get more of the aloneness. Or is your mind in the intuitive state where you're receptive to receiving messages from the higher mind? And if your mind is receptive to receiving the intuitive messages, be appreciative of those messages that come through. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge them as the messengers, the messenger which is you. Acknowledge yourself for being clear enough to receive the messages. Or is your mind even further above? And in the divine mind, where there is, nothingness. You know, when you come into a space of meditation, is why you should meditate every day. You come into the space of meditation, into the absolute quiet zone where there is nothing, where there is no thought. Now, when you meditate, you may have thoughts, and that's okay. And then you may have intuitive messages. But there will also be the moments where you have no thought at all, which is the most powerful place to be, because then you are not getting in your own way. You are not putting the blocks in front of you to stop whatever it is, the union with the divine masculine, divine feminine, or the mission, the purpose, the whatever it is that you're trying to bring together, the creation that you want to bring together. So, you know, mind, and mind. Always check, where is my mind today? And if your mind is in the ego mind, is in the, you know, which is, you know, the neediness and the, you know, fears and all of that, you know, or the have tos, the, you know, trying to make something happen. If it's in that space, make sure it's in a happy space. Because if it's in the fear space of afraid that you won't come together, or afraid that you can't make your purpose happen, or whatever it is that you're afraid of, you will only create more of that. So if you find that you're in that space, then think about something. Think about something that has happened previously in your life, something that was really a happy thought, something that is a really happy thought, that conjures up happy memories, a nice thing, a pleasant thing, a joyous thing, and stay fixated on that, because then you shift your mind away from the negative thoughts, and it's something that's already happened. So what it's going to do is it's going to, you know, make your heart sing. It's going to make you feel good. And when you feel good, you're in a powerful place. So that's what you need to bring your mind to when you're struggling with negative thoughts, or when you're struggling with, you know, having to try and create something. Bring your mind back to the happy, remembering happy memories and things that, you know, make you laugh, or make you feel loved, or feel loved. So bring your thoughts to those types of memories and stay on that until then all of a sudden either you will start to receive intuitive messages, or you will go into null zone where there is nothingness, and you are completely removed of all obstacles to what your higher self and your soul know is right for you. So your the truth of what it is that is to happen for you is actually able to happen. So let me do the cards for today. So I hope that makes sense. And first card has fallen out. So here we have the first card today, the Seven of Swords. And you can see this is like he's trying to sneak away. He wants to get away from the circus. He wants to get away from the drama. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to get away from the drama, away from the circus, away from the things that make us think about the negative thoughts, or the I must have this, I must have that. This is what this is about. And it's a number 7 card. So 7 is about coming into the stillness, you know, it's the rest phase. And ceasing, you know, cease for a moment, stop. So he's trying to sneak away. He knows he can't really get away with it forever, but he's trying to sneak away for a bit. So this is just the message. When you find that you are hindered by too many thoughts, take yourself away. Take yourself away and go into meditation. And remember the trick of, keep your mind on happy thoughts, because otherwise if you go into the meditation with stresses and worries and you keep thinking about them, you'll just keep thinking about them and you'll create more. So change it to something positive. So the next card that came out, the second card, which is the card of creation and creating, is the Six of Cups. So, create happy thoughts, create feelings of love, this is like a coming together of in friendship, a coming together in harmony with somebody that you have known before, or somebody that you actually do know. So this is a coming together. So if you want the coming together, you need to get away from your own thoughts and the own negativity. So this is like a blessing of something coming to you that will be given to you if you are consciously aware of keeping yourself in a positive state of mind. And now we have the third card, which is talking about your purpose, basically, and about having the confidence and feeling, being free of anxiety, etc. And it's the High Priestess. And there she is sitting between the pillars of Solomon. And that's like the 11 card, the number 11 card. They're coming between the two. This is tapping into the intuitive mind. Go into the meditation. Second card says go into meditation. Allow yourself to come into your true wisdom to be able to receive the intuition that comes through. Look at the pomegranates. That's a lot of divine wisdom coming through there. Let's have a look at what the heart card is going to say today. You can do this. You can actually, work with your cards and always look for the positive meaning in card. You'll notice that, you can do whatever you want, really. You can do whatever you want. For me, I don't do upside down cards. You probably noticed I never do upside down cards. The reason I don't do upside down cards is I have chosen, and it's just in me, to always look for the positive. There's enough negative in our world, so always look for the positive. And so the heart card today is the King. So here's the divine masculine. He's in your heart. You don't even have to think about him. He's there all the time. He never leaves you. So the divine masculine, whether it be within your own chakras, it's always, he's the action one. He wants to take action, but, he needs to be in balance before he can do that. So, but the divine masculine, he's always with you. He's in your heart. And this is what it's saying. He's in your heart. So he's already with you. He's here. He's not gone anywhere. He's not away. He's not missing. He's right here, right there. And if you can be comfortable with that, then the truth is, he's going to come riding right on in. So this seems to be talking more for the feminine here. But of course, it doesn't matter. We each have, whether we're male or female, we have masculine, feminine, we'll be more masculine or more feminine. And you can also look at what energy you are working at any particular moment. Are you being more masculine or are you being more feminine? Sometimes we act out more masculine, sometimes we act out more feminine. So he's always there. And if you can just relax at that and not be in the fear of, oh my God, I'm not going to meet my twin flame, or I'm not going to meet my soulmate, or I'm not going to, he's running, when is he going to come back? If you can let go of all of that and just come back to you, focus on the mission and on the purpose and on the journey of healing through the chakras, through climbing the ladder, and recognizing that he is always there, he's not gone anywhere, then when you least expect it, he's going to come riding on in. And if he is in your life, you know, you can, this is the same message. It's just that, you know, what's going on in the dynamic at the moment. So, you know, you just change it to what's happening, what's going on in the dynamic at the moment. There's, you know, been a lot of challenges, a lot of things to have to carry for both masculine and feminine. This is showing at the moment that the masculine, whether that be the feminine who acts out more masculine, or you know, or whether it is the masculine, doesn't matter, but you've been carrying too much. So the masculine side of us has been carrying too many burdens and just too much. It's a little bit like pick up sticks. You don't have to pick up all the sticks. In the game, pick up sticks. You know, we just need to pick up one at a time, one stick at a time, and try not to cause, and you're not allowed to move the sticks. You have to try to do it in a balanced way. So, but this is also saying you're nearly there. You know, he's nearly there. He's been carrying a lot. He's going through a lot of healing. He's on his own healing journey. We're all on our healing journey. Both of us, masculine and feminine, we're all on a healing journey. And he's nearly there. Usually the feminine is a little bit further ahead because it's just the way that it is. But, you know, again, it could be the masculine or the feminine within the individual. How many cards have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Must have done more than 6. 2, 4, 6. We have 1 card to go. So the last card is, and when that, you know, you've come through there, then here he is. He's arrived and he's feeling good about himself because you gave him the space. You gave him the space. He's got plenty of space around. He's standing out in the desert. He's got plenty of space because you gave him the space. Now, what better gift could you give somebody than the space to go through their own healing process, to walk the journey at their own time frame? Because if you push, then you get that, you know, they're going to run. So give them the space. They are almost finished with their journey. You know, step back again now. Stay right back. Stay totally out of it because he has done a lot of healing. Look at this. He's got a feather in his cap. And he's looking at his staff to feel actually quite proud of himself. And that's because you gave him the space. So that's the last card for today. And we will be doing the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, the last 2 cards after the codes, which we are going in to do the codes now. And but for this reading, this part of the reading, it is finito now. Until next week.